recording?
Are you there?
Yes.
April Fools.
You fuck. You guys suck.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the handsome Randy Twyford, thank you.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 103.
103.
103.
Randy says this is going to be the best episode that we've ever recorded.
Just got a gut feeling.
I don't know.
And I've got a pretty good sized gut, so.
I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night.
Okay, we were pretty well maxed that one out, so.
Randy didn't even sing the right words.
I never do. I
try.
know you can't believe it, but I make up my own words to a lot of songs.
I do too. And Sherry gets so mad at me when I sing alternative words to songs.
Uh-huh.
She gets mad.
Alternative words.
Other words?
I make up really bad
in
words.
other words,
really,
we would do this and do
words.
I said and. Okay. Okay. Hey, guys.
Emma's dragging ass today.
I am.
She has not been with coffee, and she was not going to make a pot of coffee. So we're going to interrupt this show as soon as the ding on the coffee cup gets done so that we can intravenously put, because Randy and I, we're wired. We've had a lot already. I'm already on the smart water because I'm out of whatever core, my favorite core.
Well, maybe it'll help you a little bit.
Drank all my core, so now I'm going for smart.
Yeah.
I'm rehydration.
Do you think it helps?
What?
What are they? Smart water?
I just don't like it really. Normally, I buy water based upon the spout on the top.
I do it based off the price tag.
Sherry bought this one. And this one, because I hate the flip top bullshit. You know, the spout, the sport spout.
Yeah.
I can tell Sherry bought this. I would never buy this water.
Why?
Because I don't like this. I hate the squirt. I don't want to squirt it. I want to drink it. Then why would you waste your extra money on this?
Well, I was going to make...
But if you buy cheap ass water, then the every time you go to take a drink of water, all over you because the plastic bottle's not sturdy. I need a sturdy bottle.
Thin. I agree with you on that one, Darren.
So I like the core water because it's really thick, right? But then also it's kind of like a Gatorade when you're drinking, and it's 32 ounces, so I can drink 4 of them a day. I just refill the same water, So that way I get my gallon. No, I'm not drinking dragging a Stanley fucking cup that looks like a goddamn.
Mine's not a Stanley.
And then you lose it.
No, mine's a hydro jug, and it doesn't leak.
Well, either does my core.
You could just throw this. Well, this saves the environment.
Mine doesn't. Oh, look. Well, this is good for the environment too if I keep using it over and over.
Yeah, but then it gets bad for you.
Oh, but then the good thing is when you're at a barbecue contest on a Saturday morning and you don't want to leave your trailer and you got to piss, you got an empty core bottle, and then you can fill the core bottle full of 32 ounces and just put it in the trash and keep using it till the 32 ounces is full, and then you throw it away in the trash.
That's disgusting.
Kind of like Joel, not that apple juice. Remember that? Smoky Joel. Yeah, not that apple juice. That used to be the big joke. What was Joel's sidekick? Anyway, they were in a trailer, and they'd have apple juice, and then once they'd use apple juice, then they didn't have a bathroom in there. They'd do what Darren's saying. They'd use a bottle as a bathroom during the night. And then that was always the joke, give me some apple juice. Not that apple juice. Not
Yeah,
that
so
apple
that
juice.
core water trick only works until Sherry shows up. And I didn't have core water this weekend, so I had to use a gallon Ziploc bag.
Oh,
And what's really bad is every time you go to take a piss, somebody
Just-
knocks on your goddamn trailer door.
Pissing in a
probably
Ziploc.
because they're not assuming that you're pissing in the middle of a goddamn.
Well, what do you want to
Trailer.
do? Every time you want to piss, you want to fucking walk 500 yards away to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's what a normal person would do.
No.
That Ziploc
Yeah.
kind of bothers me a little bit, Darren.
Yeah,
The
that's
zip-
gross.
The Ziploc?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ziploc.
Why? What's the difference?
It's messy. That's gross.
It's not messy.
It's just like sloshing
I
around.
wash
That's
my
weird.
hands afterwards with soap. Thanks. In case my
Thank
wife's
you.
listening.
I'll be damned.
She
I
doesn't
didn't
listen
know
to this
that.
podcast.
Things you learn about people you never thought you'd ever know about.
Yeah, I think that every single week, Randy.
Do you now? Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Is your coffee done, Emma?
I don't think so. It sounds like it's still brewing.
Oh.
What do you mean? I'm bubbly and lively and all sorts of fun. I am.
How was your week, Randy?
Yeah.
It was a good week, a challenging week. I know I was bragging on the generator in the food truck. Well, we had trouble with it this week. And what a mother. So it took a shit on us. So we had our Honda 7000 in the back of the van and took that with us. And that was working well until one of the boys went to rethermalize a bag of pulled pork. And before I could get him stopped so we could turn off some stuff that was already taking power, blew the breaker on the generator.
I was going to say, because it's not big enough to handle everything you're doing. That's the problem is
With that microwave.
with that 7,000. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the next size up on those Hondas?
I don't know. A lot of people, instead of them Hondas now, they're using the what's that new one? that they're
Predator?
using? I bought one, the Predator, and you can buy
Yeah.
a bigger Predator at 10,000 or whatever. I think.
Do they have a 10,000?
I think so. They got a bigger one. I don't know.
I
I
might
got
have
one
to
in
run
my garage. I got one in my garage that I've never used.
The 10,000?
No, not the bigger.
I
not
got
the
I got one of those 7,000s or whatever.
Yeah.
I may have to make a run to
They got a 9,000.
yeah, see, I thought that's what,
9,500 is super quiet for only $22.99 at Harbor Freight.
yeah, but is that going to be still going to be enough? That's my thing. I don't know if I'm really fixing my problem.
Well, 9,500. If you look at 9,500, Randy, divided by 120. Oh, that's 29,005. 9,500 divided by 120 is going to throw you out 79 amps. If you
So I
can
need to
get
go-
her, if you can get her through the plug, you got to get her through the plug, though.
What do you mean the plug?
Well, if you got a 50 amp plug,
Yeah, I got a 50 amp
Could-
plug.
so if you got a 50 amp plug, can you run everything through a 50 amp plug?
Yes.
If you're plugged in at home, if you've got everything running, can you run everything through a 50 amp
Yes.
plug?
Yes.
So you shouldn't need any more than 50 amps, right?
And what would this one be?
79 amps.
Now, how much would a Honda 7000 be generating?
Well, because that's only 6,000. So that's what. But are you pulling it through? So that's the problem. Is are you hooked in? What side of that generator are you hooked into on that Honda 7000?
The 240.
Are you
Yeah,
through it with a 50 amp plug?
I got an adapter on it
Why is that popping that?
because of that microwave. I mean, it'll run
Yeah, but still, if you can run the microwave and everything else hooked to when you're on 50 amp shore power,
Yeah,
why is it popping the generator?
I don't know, but it'll pop that generator sure as shit. And so what I've done is yesterday, since it was such a beautiful day here in Central Illinois, weather was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 40,000 mile an hour wind, just like Iowa.
Yeah, do a catering and open a door and everything goes out the other door on you. So
Yeah.
uh, uh, I went through and marked all the appliances. So instead of just starting to kick breakers off and just keep kicking until you got enough power, it won't blow the breaker and you're blowing the breaker. I've marked everything with a label maker. So that way I can go through and here's a refrigerator. Like I knew it, but I forgot about it. I got 2 refrigerators on one breaker. So I could kick that breaker off, and it's a 30 amp breaker. I could kick that breaker off, and that'll save me. I can kick off 2 appliances right there. And, or
Do you
just
have but do you have a balance problem? Do you have a balance problem in your panel? Because we had that for a long time. That that panel has 2 sides to that panel.
Sure, 2 legs.
And if you get one side of it is imbalanced, and you're pulling too much off one side of that, then you're pulling, the one side of the breakable. So we've had to switch some things around where they rewired that panel.
I think that's what's causing. That's probably part of our problem. And with running off that generator. Now, when we're on shore power or running off the generator that came with the truck, we have no problems at all.
Right.
And I don't know how big the generator is on the truck, but it's pretty good size.
Well, you got your spec sheet, right?
Yeah, it's scanned in there somewhere. So, but anyway, so you think that Predator 9000 would pull 79 amps?
Well, that's at
What the
120 amps. That's what it says, but you can only get so much through the plug, though, Randy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it depends what it has for a plug on it. I don't know what the plug configuration is on there.
It's probably one of those twist and lock 120 240s.
So like this, even on that 9500, it says max AC running watts is 7600.
Right. So what happens is when that generator kicks in, it runs it up. So we just need to make sure that when we go to run the microwave, we got some appliances turned off.
Yeah, see, right. Because this has a 120 240 30 amp 4-prong power plug, and then a 30 amp 3-prong power plug. So you got the amps, but you got it on multiple plugs.
Right. So now that I've got these breakers labeled, when we need to take and rethermalize something, we'll just take and flip some of the heavy draw off for a while.
Either that or get your microwave and plug it into an outlet that's on the other side of the panel.
Yeah.
And see if that does it.
I need to look at that. That might be, I'm not sure what size that's plugged into, but other than that, we've had a great week, even considering it's turbo tornado weather. We've had wind and stuff, and you never know about a spot. And I get too much in the, we keep going to a lot of the same spots, and they're pretty good. But we went to a new spot this week, and we were very surprised. And of course, when the generator blew, that's when we had a line of about 35, 40 people. And then a lady that wanted to buy some bulk meat, that I asked her if she could come at 11 before things got busy. The generator's going off, and we're sitting in darkness, and there's a line up the street. I'm here to pick up the bulk meat. I'm like, straight up noon. So we got her taken care of, though, with a smile.
With a smile.
Yeah.
With a smile.
but yeah, and we've got. I was kind of amazed. I was looking at my calendar. Our food truck's booked about every day except Mondays for the next 2 months.
Oh,
So
that's almost like work, Randy.
yeah, I know.
But watch out, you're going to get a job.
I know, that's what scares me. And then I've got my
Wow.
transition of employees, coming up here in another month, 1st of May, and stuff. But you know what really pisses me off is how you can't trust people. You can't trust fucking people anymore with so many scams going on.
Oh,
I get up this morning, check my phone like I normally do, and there's an email from some lady down in Alton, Illinois, which is about an hour in the food truck. It'd be an hour and 20 minutes, probably hour and 15.
East St. Louis.
No, it's above East St. Louis. It's a nice area. But anyway, she's wanting to have invited me to this park with a food truck, and they're only having 2 food trucks, and they'd like to have me be one of them. And it's for a family fun festival, 2,000 people, and she's gonna. Long and the short of it, why is she asking me up in Jacksonville, unless
Right.
she's just heard of us and heard good things about us and stuff? And but the other thing is she said that with it they'll have it. If I'm interested, they can send me an application with a link to pay the $100 that it's going to cost to go to it. That makes me nervous. When you give them your credit card, are they legit? I mean, this thing's got
Okay.
non-legit wrote all over it. In my
Okay,
opinion.
well,
So
give me the business. Give me the name of the Family Fun festival thing. You got
it's
it?
it's on there. I just looked it up before we went on air,
Okay,
and it's
so
on there from last year.
okay, so that makes me believe that it's real.
Well,
Did you
I guess so.
did you
But it's
cross-reference?
kind of like, no, I haven't had that much time. I've been busy
Okay.
this morning. It's called the Family Fun.
First you bitch about it, and then you get the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Family Fun Night event is what the name of it is.
And
Family
what?
Fun
in,
Night event, Rock Springs
town is-
Park in Alton, Illinois.
I'd help if I could spell. Rock.
We've done events and we've done a couple events in Alton before, and we've done
What?
very.
Why are we? Oh, Randy.
What?
Randy.
What?
So it sounds like this is legit,
Okay.
right?
He's just
I'm cautious.
I
don't wanna
respect that.
I don't want
You
to be.
should
I don't want to
but-
be one of those people on Fox and Friends that got ripped off because somebody got your credit card number because of falsifying some event and that. So
trust me, Randy. Your credit card number's out there just like all the rest of ours so many times.
Yep.
yeah, that's
Yep.
If they want it, they already got it.
Speaking of Darren, yours is about to expire. Riverside told me we needed to update.
Yeah, I'll get over it.
So anyway, I'm getting a little better. I consider myself overly cautious on some of these
Which
events.
I respect that, but no part of me thought that was shady.
Okay,
You know? Did you, Darren?
we get a
Just Randy.
right.
That's
Yeah.
the
I
only
was gonna
shady
say-
part of the whole deal.
Yeah,
But-
I was gonna
but then
say
again-
I'm like,
But then again, do you really want to ride a food truck all the way an hour and a half to Alton, Illinois?
yeah. That's
that's
I know that's the only problem. But if it's a big event, we can make it work. So, but now we're going to have to drag a generator with us since we don't. But the company that
Why don't you just, you got 5,000 farmers all with welders. Why don't you just go get a damn platform
I
welded
know.
to the front of the truck, right? With a platform, have somebody weld you, even weld a receiver hitch to the frame of the front of that truck. So you can put a receiver in there So you can put one of them platforms in there to set your generator on. So when that happens, all
what
you
I'm
got to
thinking
do
of.
is put the receiver hitch in there on the front of your truck, and now you got the generator. Put it on there, you plug it in, you're done. Or you don't want to do it on the back because you probably got your propane back there.
Well, that's the problem. Ours is a flat cab over, so to get to the engine, you got to flip it over. But I guess you could just take, if you needed to get to the engine, you could just take that platform off with a receiver hitch type deal.
Well, just put a little ramp on there. Have a little like a wheelchair. Look for a wheelchair ramp,
Right.
that goes in a receiver hitch.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you have somebody weld a receiver hitch, and then boom, put it in there. Roll your generator up on your wheelchair platform, and then flip up your ramps.
And then we're ready to go.
Then you're ready to go.
And then when we get someplace, just roll it off. And
if all of a sudden, if you need to check your engine oil, guess what? Roll her down.
Yeah.
the easiest thing, though, that I'm thinking
back.
about is
Just buy a new generator.
buy a new generator or open up a brick and mortar restaurant.
No! Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's a rumor going around that we're opening up a brick and mortar anyway. I've
Really?
had a couple people ask me, "Hey, are you really going out there on Morton Avenue and opening up converting that one building, and you're going to open up a restaurant?" I'm like, "What?"
I think you should. I think you should, Randy.
I would be booking a hotel room for Darren by the week if I opened up a restaurant
Darren will help
No,
you.
you wouldn't.
for consultation.
No, you
You
wouldn't.
just call him. Just hop on this
I'd only
thing.
have to be there for about the second day, because the third day be your funeral after I'd shoot your ass.
Yeah, I've had a
Hey,
couple
is
people.
Emma? Is Emma? Are you getting fuzzy again?
No.
It is getting
She's
fuzzy.
getting fuzzy. Like,
Hey, you guys.
is her fucking internet going again?
No.
I thought you were
It's
going to
not.
buy some decent internet.
Is
No.
her?
My
Is she
internet
there?
is fine.
Is she there now?
I don't see her.
What the fuck? What the?
Tells her-
I am here.
Is she still recording?
Yes.
I hope so. That
What
we
the
don't have the problem we did the
Jesus
other day.
Christ! How many times do we have
Why are
to
you-
fuck with this?
Are you going to start paying
She's
for
not
my
even
internet?
here. What the fuck?
I am. What do you
I
mean?
suppose Q the mic
I
is going to
can't
have
see
to
you.
fuck.
It went
the
down to just
fuck?
two of us on the screen. There's just two of us. Darren and I.
Fuck.
Okay, so for post recording, this is going to seem ridiculous because I'm still here and it's going to have all three of us. But those two are idiots.
No.
I'm just.
Is she coming?
It's-
Here, I'm going to fucking text her and see if it.
I'm calling Darren. This is so funny
Text
because
her.
listeners are good.
Hang on. I'm sending her a text.
He doesn't answer my phone call.
What? Here,
I'm
Are you
still
are you-
recording.
Are you there?
Yes.
April Fools.
You You guys suck.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Thinker. Easy one.
I didn't
Easy.
think
You
we were
guys-
playing. I didn't think we were playing along really well.
I mean, you guys are being dramatic, but sometimes
We
I
actually
can't tell.
we actually had a listener who told us to do that like a long time ago, after the first time that happened when you went bad. And they're
Well-
like, you really should fuck with her and do it on purpose. And then I forgot all about that. And then when I thought this morning, I thought, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, we missed April Fool's Day. Let's fuck with Emma today. And
I
you
love
bought
that.
into it. I'm like, we're not playing this very good. We're not playing. And then when you called us, I'm like, she's into it.
I mean,
Perfect day.
Yeah.
She's half asleep, hasn't had any coffee.
had 2 sips now. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was exaggerated, but I mean, I know that it's a big issue, so I mean, it's really not a big issue, but I know it pisses you guys off. So I was like, I don't know why they're getting all worked up. It's my internet. You could pay if you're really worried about it. You could buy me new internet. Do you want
I
to
got
add
new
that
internet.
to the fee?
Hopefully, I'm going to try and install today. I got my old
We could add that
Elon.
to my paycheck.
Got my old Starlink.
Oh, I'd love that.
You don't get blowed off the house.
Nope, wind's not blowing today.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, you better get
Looks like
on
it's
it.
actually
'Cause
gonna be a nice
It sure
day.
will be. Oh,
Yeah.
the other thing, since we visited like that, since we were here and had our visit,
Yes.
Visit. Our
they,
conjugal visit. I mean, our
yeah.
What?
Who?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Keep that. Let's
How'd that
not
happen?
say that kind of stuff.
How'd that happen?
Hey, Randy, what were
We
you
had our
saying?
hog roast. We had our hog. We roasted a hog for a wedding, and if anybody wants to see it, go out to Twyford. Go out to our Facebook page or our Instagram page at Twyford BBQ, and you can see a picture of it. And turned out really
Okay.
well. It weighed 197 pounds.
Holy crap.
Yeah, for these big
Big hog.
weddings, getting the big hogs, they're a little challenge. I had to have the boys come out. And I went and picked him up, and then the boys come out and we prepped it and put it in the old Hickory ELDX with the hog racks on there. You saw those? Kind of neat how that works, didn't it?
yeah.
And
I've got a couple sets of them actually. They're still zip
They
tied
came with
to
came with the tray, the cooker, and then we put him on at about 5 p.m. on Friday night, and we took him off at 3 p.m. on Saturday, and cooked
What'd
him
you
at
run it?
250.
What
250? 250. It amazes me how, I guess you got a lot of meat in there, so it takes a while to get it all cooked and stuff. So, but we learned a few things. I didn't realize. I've done two things. I've taken and put pork butts inside him to kind of protect the inside of it some, and then I've put aluminum foil in there. And we put aluminum foil in there, and you don't want to do that. The main thing is to keep it from sagging, getting that, the horse deal on it, where it looks like a bad horse, old sway-backed horse. And I think you're better off, and I'm sure there's hog cookers that'll probably agree with me. And to put the pork butts in there instead of putting the aluminum foil, because I think it cooks better. And then you got more meat also, because you can pull those two pork butts.
Oh, just two?
Yeah, that's all I've done in theirs too. So,
Huh.
and it kind of protects those loins a little bit, doesn't let them dry out and stuff. And we put some ground pork on them too, also to kind of protect them. We put ground pork on them with aluminum foil. So,
Well, I noticed you cut that skin. I didn't see a good picture, but when you went to the pit, you cut the skin off the back.
skin off the back.
Well, it looked like the skin was cut on the top of the loin.
Well, what happened was we put that foil in there. And I couldn't figure that out at first. And then we put that foil in there, and some of my boys got really jammy, jamming that foil in there. And I think it was so much pressure coming from the inside. Once it started cooking, that skin split on top of them loins where all majority of that foil was.
Oh.
And so that's why if we would have taken him, just put the pork butts in there, we wouldn't have had that split skin on there.
Oh,
but we were able to hide it enough. And the bride and groom were ecstatic. The bride made the comment. The groom was the one really wanting a hog for the hog roast, wanting a hog for the wedding. That was his main thing. And she said that she had not seen him smile for a week and a half the way he was smiling when he saw that hog, and we had served
On his wedding day?
On his wedding day.
Yeah, they did like the first bite of cake, but it was the first bite of hog.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But also,
and then
it was actually pretty
one of the
I'm
things
worried
I
about
do,
that.
there's I have the bride and the groom do the first cut. They get a knife and go down in the middle. And there's some nationality that's good luck. If the bride and groom cut the hog, make the first cut on the hog, it means good luck in their marriage.
I'm guessing it's not Jewish.
No, Filipinos. We've done several Philippine weddings. Yes.
Do you wear your overalls to these weddings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice ones. Yeah, I do. Until weather starts
Nice.
getting a little warmer, and then I'll go back to shorts. I can't wait to get back.
Then he cuts them off.
You know, I have seen some of these, and I about that much have thought about it, but then I haven't. Have you seen those advertisements for those red, white, and blue cut-off overalls?
Are they on TV?
No, they're on the internet.
No.
Yeah, they're on the internet, and some companies selling red, white, and blue overalls and their shorts. And I kind of thought about it, but you know, I've pissed away a lot of money on different things, and that would be one that I'd really piss it away for, because they just hang in the closet and they'd never get worn.
Like, are they American? Like an American flag?
Yeah, they look like a red, white, and blue American flag.
Okay, so wait, are they these? Hold on.
Yeah, the ones on the far left. Yeah,
These?
yeah.
Ooh, what about them ones right over them shine ones?
Oh, why did it open?
Like no, one over the fifth one over. That one.
Jeez. This
Yeah.
one? This
Yeah,
one.
well, hoochie mama.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're done with that. We are done with that. Randy, you could get overalls for $28. Full send it, my guy.
Look at there. There's the American flag denim bib overalls.
They got
Yeah, you might as well.
unisex ones.
Okay.
I ain't getting into that. No way.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing
You ain't
that.
getting into no unisex.
I'm not unisexing it. No way.
Nope, your pineapple is turned the right side up.
Oh.
I saw that pineapple upside down next to that hog.
It was right side up.
Okay.
I never thought about it. I wish I would have put it upside down just for the hell of it. See if anybody would have noticed it. You would
Oh
have.
my goodness. God.
So everything breaking on the we had a breaking week too. We the bar was the breaking week. We TVs
The
screwing
bar?
up. Oh,
What
It's
happened?
a bad time for the TVs to be going out.
the direct TV receivers. We got like 5 of the 8 that we have went out. I we just replaced them. But when you replace the receivers, they don't replace the cards,
No.
right? And so our cards
Yeah.
are original cards from like
Sims cards.
2010,
Right?
and they're like black almost. They're like,
yeah.
and so the cards are going bad. Well, guess what? You can't just get a new, even though we have new receivers.
You can't just get a new SIM card.
You can either get a new receiver or you can get a new receiver with card. You can't get just a new card.
Really?
Yeah. So for
That sounds like
$2,000,
some kind of
after we just
shenanigan.
spent $1,500 on new receivers, we're going to spend $2,200 on new receivers with cards.
Cards.
Yay.
That's kind of a bullshit deal.
Yeah. And then the bottle cooler, which we knew was going to go out last year, it needed a squirt of Freon, and I forgot all about it. Well, they had to come out a couple weeks ago and said, this took Freon last year, but we'll put more in it. We're not sure how long it's going to last. I'm like, okay, well, I'll get one going, and forgot all about it. And of course, Friday night, what happens? Bar cooler goes out. So
On Friday night, that's
Yeah.
tough.
it's the beer one. They can put the beer in a cooler.
I was going to say, put it in
That's
two.
right.
Put it in an ice chest. So anyway,
that's fair.
I went on Webstrot and ordered one Saturday morning early, and
Yay.
hopefully it'll be here midweek. So
I was going to say, how soon? I was just curious on that big stuff like that. How soon does
it says
Webstart-
it ships next day. I haven't got I haven't got
You just ordered it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday morning. So I
Okay.
haven't got a status whether it. Let's see. Order placed. It's processing.
Okay.
Ooh.
I ordered the Frosty Brew one, though. The best
Oh.
one. It holds
Ooh.
beer between 30 and 32 degrees,
Nice.
Damn.
which will probably, the mixers they put in there will probably freeze, but they'll figure that out.
Now you're going to have your man T-Rex put that in for you?
No, it's just a plug-in cooler. It's just a.
So you'll
bottle
have to
cooler.
drag
You know,
the
one
other
of them-
one out.
I told them to drag the other one out. We'll just take the lift truck and I'll take the lift truck and we'll take it. The plumbing shop down here, the street, they've got a place in the back where they take all their hot water heaters and the scrapper comes and gets it.
Oh, okay.
So I just bring the old restaurant equipment and throw it in their water heater pile and the scrapper will come get
You ought
it.
to just take it out in the country and throw it in a ditch along the road or something.
No, that's not the way.
Then somebody will pick it up. Do like I used to do in Puerto Rico. You just
I ought
take
to
and
put
put
it on.
any,
I ought to put it on Facebook Marketplace.
could be
Not a bad idea.
Put T-Rex, puts a little squirt of Freon on and sell it. Great
down in Puerto
condition.
Rico. Down in Puerto Rico, you just put anything out on the curb and it's gone.
Yeah.
I put a dining room table out there, and within, I think it was like 35 minutes, somebody picked it up and took it. So you don't have to take. They'll come by and pick up along the street.
Yeah. So this week's going to be a cluster. We're doing concrete on the north side of the building this week. So we're putting all new drains, and so where all the delivery trucks and everything's going to be clusterfuck this week. Our carry out entrance is going to be closed.
Are you making it wider?
No, we're just they're putting in drains and manholes so that all the water isn't a swamp by the back door.
That's
And
fair.
all the air conditioners drain down underground instead of on the concrete, and where the trees, where the concrete's heaved up, where the old trees were, that's all getting fixed, and just shit. It's going to be amazing when it gets done, but all week long, it doesn't look like we're supposed to get any rain, but all week long, they're supposed to tie up that whole back parking lot. So,
boy,
That's
those
gonna
poor
be tough.
people down south got the rain.
yeah, they got a little bit of rain, didn't they?
They said I saw something like Murfreesboro, down in that area, 10 inches of rain.
Illinois or
Whoa.
Tennessee?
Illinois,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
And then down in Nashville, they got a gully washer too. So
Crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
Mother Nature is not happy.
no,
No.
She hasn't figured out. Nice and sunny, 57 degrees in Des Moines today.
it's cloudy and down in the 40s here.
That's a bummer. Did you guys watch basketball last night?
No,
I watched the end of the Auburn Florida game for 30 seconds, but no, that's way past my bedtime to watch the other game. I did
That's
watch
fair.
the highlight reel.
Pretty crazy.
Crazy.
I have Florida and Houston in the championship on my bracket. I'm feeling great today.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't paid any attention to the big tournament at all.
I haven't either,
Guys,
which is nothing out of the ordinary for me.
I'm only paying attention because we did a work bracket and I participated in that.
Are you leading?
Yeah. For the first time in my entire life ever, I'm actually winning.
Is there money involved?
No, just bragging rights. And then at our work conference this summer, I'll get a little makeshift trophy. That'll make me feel good, and it'll probably go right there.
Right next to that.
Yeah.
I should have brought my trophies from the barbecue contest.
I was going to say,
Yeah, what the heck?
did you go to tell us about your barbecue contest you went
Yeah,
to?
we
You had a long drive.
Oh, we made a huge track all the way to Altoona, Iowa, which
I don't
was
see how you do
exactly
it.
3 miles from my house, door to door,
Nice.
to the Iowa State Barbecue Championship. Which it's probably the latest I ever showed up. I didn't really get there till like 3:00 on Friday because I was so busy fucking around trying to. I'm like, oh, I'll just do this. The contest is close. I'll just get that later. I'll just get this later. But finally got there Friday, and we had the second annual T-Rex and Matty Mac put on the Iowa State Championship hot dog feed.
Ooh.
Oh.
So they had hot dogs and different toppings for the crowd. And so I wanted to be a little different. So I brought some Conecuh sausage and some Taylor pork roll out of Florida last week. And so we put that in along with the hot dogs, that stuff, but lots of good toppings. I made myself a custom hot dog that was, here, I'll show you a picture of it. It was a hot dog with Conecuh sausage, Taylor pork roll, some of Bill Gillespie, who won the Jack Daniels last year with he won the Anything Goes with a chili dog. It was his meat sauce.
That looks nice.
With some Hot Daddy's homemade sauerkraut underneath. And Cheryl Ann Waite made some sweet pickle relish homemade on the top.
Nice.
That was a fine hot dog.
Fine looking dog
Looks
you
good.
got there, mister.
So everybody had some fun. Then we got down to business, and we had it was a chilly night, but we had a burger contest that, don't ask me why I didn't even sign up, but Joe, the organizer, signed me up as a sponsor. So I signed up for the burger contest. Of course, about an hour before the burger contest, Sherry looked at me and says, "I'm going home. It's too cold out here. You can cook this by yourself." Okay. So I cooked, I had ground up my Duroc pork trimmings and I cooked a pork burger, and I had made some candied bacon out of Big Papa's sriracha rub. And then I put some brown sugar. I cooked it at home Friday afternoon before I went. So I had a candied bacon on top of the pork burger with pimento cheese.
Ooh,
on a Martin's potato roll. And then I put a peach mango habanero jam.
Oh, yep.
And I never got to taste it. I never got to toast the bun because I'm a dumbass. So I was cooking the burger on a can and cooking along by myself. And I go in and I'm starting to get the buns ready. And I'm slicing the buns, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to toast the buns. So I get some, I'm like, oh, I'm going to butter toast these. So I had some parquet, and so I get the buns and I get the parquet out, and I put parquet on all the buns. Right?
Right.
And then I realized I don't have a fucking pan to toast the buns.
Uh-oh.
So I'm by the burgers, and I've got at that point, I got about 10 minutes till turn in. And so I go around over to T-Rex. I'm like, you got a pan to toast buns? And they had a little single omelet skillet. And I'm like, oh, give me that. So I put that on a Bunsen or a burner and butane burner. And I figured that was not going to happen very quick. And then I had a stock pot, which I could get one bun. I'm like, nah, that ain't going to do. And then I finally got the burgers off and I covered them up and let them rest while I had the pimento cheese on them. So I went them out on the grill, but that didn't work. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just turning them in with parquet all over the bun. So my buns weren't toasted.
How did you place?
I got fourth place.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Not bad.
Fourth place out of 20.
Just imagine if you had your buns toasted.
If I would have had a good toasted bun, I think probably would have got fourth place still.
Yeah.
It was good.
That sounds like a lot of nice ingredients on that rascal.
Yeah, it was. I had a couple people taste it, and they were tasting it and said, wow, that's really a good burger. And then after about a minute, they went, oh, you just fucked whoever ate after you, because it got really spicy after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Because of the habanero jam. I mean, I turned in 6 burgers I made 8 burgers. I turned in 6 full-size burgers in a half pan. and I made 8 burgers, and I used a whole jar of habanero jam.
Gee, Manelli.
So anyway, but I turned in
Alright.
at 8. I turned in at 8:00, and I was home in bed by 8:30.
Oh,
They had awards
that
at
sounds
9.
nice.
Didn't pay attention. I woke up the next morning to find out I got 4th place. So
nice.
But you got a good night's sleep.
I got a good night's sleep. Yep. Woke up the next morning, got up early, pressed a coffee, took a shower. I was over at the contest site by 10 to 5, lit the Jambo. It was colder than shit outside, but took a bar stool along, sat inside and drank coffee and did my thing, cooked the barbecue contest, and Sherry showed up about, I don't know, 10:30, and we It's My Jam catered the breakfast for the contest, so we did build your own taco bowls.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
I had the
That sounds
jam.
good.
They made they took a 32-ounce microwavable bowl and filled it full of breakfast potatoes and chorizo and eggs and cheese, and then we wrapped up 3 flour tortillas in foil and stuck it on top, and then they delivered it around to all the teams. Joe came and got it and delivered it all to all the teams, and everybody got with homemade salsa.
And that was all, and it was hot and everything. So something hot for breakfast.
It was hot. Yep. So he went around, and then you could eat it as a bowl, or you could make your own tacos, and
Sure.
one for every team. So there was enough for 3 huge tacos in there.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah. Oh. It was good. We got a lot of business throughout the weekend. A lot of teams hadn't been to the jam. They stopped.
some of
A
it
lot,
went
a
there.
lot of teams stopped at the jam or Smoky D's. Lots of pictures of people stopping, eating Pop-Tarts and cinnamon rolls and all
What
kinds
about
of breakfast stuff.
The old Henri chicken.
Huh?
I said, what about the old Henri chicken?
I'm not sure if any got I know the Canadians came down. Jared, our friends from Canada were down. And he was over here because I was storing briskets for him in the freezer here. So he stopped by, and I got him a Nashville hot chicken. I forgot to ask him how it was, but
Well, that's good. A lot of them went down to the jam.
yep.
Yeah.
So, but we cooked the contest, and then so we got to awards yesterday, and we kind of were sitting on our hands, but we they had a wild child, which for those of you who don't know, a wild child, anybody that wants to throws $20 in the pot, and then they roll a dice to see what category is a wild child. Yesterday was chicken, and whoever gets 11th place in that category wins the pot. Well, we happened to get 11th place in chicken and won $720,
Nice.
Whoa.
which
Nice.
first place in chicken only paid $400. So we ended up getting 24th in ribs, which we thought were really decent. On my pork, I thought was my best category all day. It got 30th, and we won first place in brisket though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so enough to
All
hit,
over the boards.
it was all over the place, but enough to hit 5th place overall. Had a team out of Minnesota won their first grand championship.
Oh, nice.
Love that.
Nice.
Yep.
We love that.
Yep. So anyway,
How'd your chicken do? You never said chicken. How'd your chicken do?
It hit 11th, wild child. 11th.
Oh, that's right. 11.
Yep. So, yeah, and the chicken it was a clusterfuck. I was going to tell you about this story about chicken. So old Steve-O, people that know us from a long time ago, Steve-O was the guy that used to come to us to the Royal with us every year. And he was our good luck charm. Steve-O was near us when we won the Royal 3 times. And so he'd come every year. And Steve-O was a insurance guy. Well, not an insurance guy. He was a computer guy in charge of IT for an insurance company. And very quiet guy until he went to the Royal, and then he became a party animal, right?
Love.
And that's saying it lightly.
That's saying it lightly. And
Respect.
Steve-O used to like to go around the next morning to all the parties and gather all the party favors and take them home with him. Right. But Steve-O, he always had fun. He always cut loose once a year.
Yeah.
He would leave his wife, and he was a very structured life, I would say, and he would cut loose at the Royal and have a lot of fun. And he had a laugh that just goes crazy. So Steve would come out, and he's standing in the trailer, and I'm cooking my chicken on the can, and I decided instead of cooking on the mini can, I didn't want to get it out, and I'd cook burgers on this can before. I'm like, it's windy, it's shitty. I'm just going to cook it on this little 30-gallon drum. So I'm cooking, and the drums, I'm having a hard time getting it up to temperature because I got a diffuser plate in there, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just throw it on early. So put it on at 9:30, and the drum's just cooking along, and it's like cooking at 225 degrees, and I'm turning it up a little bit, and I'm just fucking around with temperatures, trying to keep it below 275 or 275. And finally, I get it burning where I want it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to burn this for a while, then I'm going to pan it. Well, then I go to pan it, and I look in the trailer. I said, hey, Sherry, get me one of them Weber grill pans in there. She's like, you don't have any. I'm like, what? Yeah, you don't have any. That's nice. So I don't have a pan that'll fit in there. So I got a half pan, which is too small to fit all the chicken in there, or I got a full pan, which won't fit in the can. So I'm walking around to other teams, T-Rex and stuff. Hey, you got a pan? Nobody has a pan. So I get back, and Steve-O says, let's just make a pan. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, grab a full pan, cut it in half, and then slide one half inside the other till it's exactly the size you want it.
Yeah.
And then line that pan with foil. And then he even said, let's put reinforcements on the outside to make it sturdy. Okay, let's do this. So we spent about 15 minutes manufacturing this pan, and it's going to work perfect, right? So I go to get the chicken off the can.
Oh, no.
And bring it in. Well, I had burned about 6 pieces of the fucking chicken.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Is it foil?
Just sitting over, I didn't rotate it one more time.
Okay.
And so I only had 9 pieces of chicken that needed to be panned. So it all fit inside a half pan anyway. So after all that work of trying to construct this pan, I said, hey, Sherry, give me a half pan. Got a half pan, put the 9-piece chicken in the half pan, dumped the butter in it, covered it up, put it in the pit, and off we went.
11th place.
11th place. And it was really good chicken. I mean, it was some of the best chicken I had cooked. It was juicy. Really? It was really nice. I cooked chicken legs. I've been running chicken legs. I was running chicken legs in Florida. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep running chicken legs, I think.
How many teams were there, Darren?
50.
50 teams.
50 teams.
Pretty good.
Yeah, nice turnout.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. There was 50, and I think there was 30-some backyard teams there. It was
really. So they had a backyard contest too.
Yeah,
were the wannabes there?
Yeah. Oh, the wannabes. The wannabes were there.
How'd they do?
I don't know where they finished overall. We should probably look because they're big listeners here. And Joe was screwing with them when they called awards because he would call like when he called they got a call in ribs, I know. But when he called first place in brisket, he said, and first place in brisket, Smokey D's. I meant Iowa's Smokey D's. Let's see. The old wannabes were. They got 11th overall.
11th overall.
And their only call, I believe, was they got 10th in ribs. Yep, they got.
Well, that's respectable.
Yeah, they've been consistent. They've been consistent. Yeah, it was fun. Got to spend a little time with them, and
that's nice.
It's always fun.
So April Fools. As we were talking about that, Darren, were you in on the Ornery Chicken's April Fool's joke? that they pulled?
I was in a little bit. They wanted me to be in on it more, but I was busy.
Okay, so did you
This was
see
a
some of the
classic.
image?
Yeah.
So yeah, so Alex and Mom decided to pull a little prank on the Honor Chicken, one of the Honor Chicken. What is she, manager now? I'm
Yeah,
not even
well,
sure.
employees, whatever.
Yeah.
Leanna's
Yeah.
one of the
Yep.
gals that works in the office,
Yeah.
and she'd
So
been
they-
gone. She'd been gone
Yeah,
for
like
week
a week,
on vacation.
and she's coming back on April Fool's Day, Tuesday. And so Mom and Alex thought it would be funny to kind of tell her that they had made this new menu for the Honorary Chicken, like a whole new menu that they were going to launch that week. But they chat GPT'd the menu, and it's bizarre. I'll just pull up one of the. Where's my mouse?
So they
I'll
came
pull
up
up
and
what-
said, "We got this whole new
Yeah.
menu," and they did
Yeah.
like build sheets and recipes and all this shit. And then they lied to her and
And-
said, "We got to get this place all cleaned up because Guy Fieri's coming on Thursday."
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like they really
And
played into this.
And she fell for it like almost all day long. And one of the things was on her prep list guide, that on her prep list for the day was for her that she needed to shred coconut. And I was in a meeting and they're like, "Hey, can you bring us a whole coconut?" And walk in the door with a whole coconut. And I didn't get it till later because they wanted me to walk in and hand her a coconut for her to shred
Right.
for this.
Because one of these, yeah. So one of these, that was the. Which one had the coconut? It was the. I can't even find it. But they had these five sandwiches pre-made. Oh, it's this one, the Choco Cluck, I think. And it had fried chicken, Nutella, bacon crumbles, marshmallow fluff on a cinnamon sugar dusted bun, and then I think it had coconut on that one as well, but it doesn't say it here. And then they had like the Cluck Norris spicy fried chicken sandwich featuring ghost pepper mayo, jalapeno poppers, and a dusting of flaming hot Cheetos. The breakfast betrayal, which is
They actually want to put that one on the menu.
which I don't disagree. That one sounds kind of good. The breakfast betrayal, a breakfast lover's dream or nightmare with a waffle bun, fried chicken, scrambled eggs, cheddar cheese, and crushed Fruit Loops. The Sea Clucker, a surf and turf fusion featuring a crispy chicken thigh topped with a crab cake and an Old Bay aioli. And the PB and Cluck, a bold twist on the peanut butter and jelly with spicy peanut butter sauce, grape jelly glaze, and crunchy peanuts over a fried chicken breast. Okay? And Mom calls me on Monday. She goes, "I need you to AI generate," or she actually is like, "Can you Photoshop me some sandwiches?" And I was like, "No, I can't do that. I'm not that good." And I said, "But I can try to AI generate some." And she said, "Oh yeah, let's see what we can do." And I just want to show you guys what the PB and Cluck looked like, because it didn't get it perfectly, because it was a little off. Where are these? It was a little off because it put chicken legs on it. Let's see if I can find them in my Canva. But I used Canva's AI stuff, and boy, oh boy. Oh, here we go. I'll
Did it
show
do good?
this. Yeah, it did. It's so funny. It was
I
so
wanna know-
funny that I shared it
I want to know how much.
in our.
I want to know how much money it cost me for this prank
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
in payroll.
Okay, so here's the PB and Cluck.
AI generated that?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
So if you're
See,
watching
see
this,
Randy,
you can see it.
Randy, see Randy, how them you could make them leprechaun balls look better. AI.
Yeah. And then this is the breakfast betrayal. So it didn't do a waffle bun or scrambled eggs, but honestly, still pretty impressive.
Yeah, but you could have just said, "Hey, make that egg a scrambled egg."
Well, I did, but I gave it the exact description. and it still generated this.
Yeah, but then
And you
I
can
would say,
kind of tell
hey,
that if you
sometimes
look,
sometimes
you
AI
can tell
doesn't
it
listen.
tried, right, and you can tell it tried to scramble it. But then I sent it to Mom. I was FaceTiming Mom and Alex, and they said they preferred it with. They said it looks funnier with the over easy egg anyway. And then this was the cinnamon sugar dusted one. It did get marshmallow fluff. Couldn't figure out that, but it got like the shredded coconut and the Nutella and the bacon. And then this was the Old Bay one with the crab and stuff. And then Mom did the Cluck Norris on ChatGPT, and it looked pretty good too. It like made like an actual promo for it. But it's just one of those things where I was like, wow, this AI is pretty crazy. I shared these with my coworkers because I was like, guys, look at how crazy this is. I told them they're pulling this joke, and I had to generate some
Interesting.
images with AI, and I was like, isn't this nuts?
So there's an AI application in Canva.
Yep. It's called Magic Media. And yeah, you can give it a prompt to, make whatever you want it to.
So, what's Canva?
Canva is I don't know how to exactly describe it, but it's a platform where you can make it's like a user-friendly platform where you can make graphics and flyers and social media posts and all of the things.
I have one of those. It's called Haley.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just started I use it for everything. So like we use it for work, and then we also I use it personally now, to the point of where if you look at our most recent thumbnails,
you better watch it. They're going to give everybody that needs those, instead of sending you an email, they're going to be sending an email to the AI generated thing and give them their own.
Well, here's a fun fact from what I've learned. You have to be good at telling AI exactly what you need. And some people still struggle with that. So, and I took this course on AI so that I have job security because I'll know what I'm doing.
Good for you.
Thank you, Randy.
Good for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But yeah,
now
it's
you
like
show
I
me how to use it.
Yeah, I will. I deleted all my Adobe stuff because I was using Adobe to edit the podcast and make our thumbnails, and it was costing me personally, because I use it for more than just the podcast, so I was paying for it before anybody jumps that gun, Darren. So I was paying $60 a month to use all of these apps, right? And I wasn't using them enough, so I canceled that subscription because I'm so into Canva, and it's just a better tool for me that I pay $14 a month now for Canva, and I edit the podcast in Riverside, which you pay for. So great. Save myself some money.
I paid for it the last year. Now it's Randy's year.
Oh yeah, Randy. Okay. I'm gonna need your credit card.
That's fine.
But I use it to.
Everybody else wants it. Which is obvious this morning.
Yeah. I think Canva, if like Randy, you could use Canva. That's what your designer or what your social media girl uses.
Yeah, I know.
And like I've used it to make presentations, I use it to make flyers, I use it to make everything.
Yeah,
and it's so user friendly.
I was using it a little bit there a couple years ago, and when I was using it, I got kind of the hang of using it, and it is pretty simple. Real simple. Is.
Yeah, like you can search exactly what you need and find exactly what you need.
And that was before AI.
Yeah.
But Emma, back to the AI thing. Where are we at on this product mix?
You haven't sent me any information.
I sent you one and it bounced back.
Well, then you didn't send it to the right email.
I sent it on 3/31/25, matter of fact, and Microsoft threw it back to him. So when we get done, give me the email.
Okay.
Did you figure out how to? Did you figure out, Darren, how to print out that product mix?
It won't let me print it. It makes me email it to me, and it won't email it to me.
Okay, because that's what I was able to get it to generate an email and send it Well, it was in Excel. Do you want that in Excel or what's the other? Okay, in Excel.
Or Google spreadsheet, but yeah, just Excel. That's what it'll do.
Now, let me ask you this, Darren. What are you hoping to get out of sending this to her and her running an AI on it? What do you hopefully get?
I want to be able to take, let's take as something as simple as let's go as simplistic as we do a smokehouse burger on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me what my average daily smokehouse burger is on Tuesday. What's my high? What's my low? What's my average for the last 15 weeks? And what's the trending average? What's it doing? What's it doing? Or give me the last year worth of data and break it out into each season and tell me the different, tell me, hey, from March to this, I ought to be making this many par levels. Give me par levels.
And it'll do that, Emma?
I'm trying to create par levels for different menu items.
Okay.
It should. You should be able to tell it exactly what you're looking for.
Right. So we just bought brought strawberry jam and apple butter to the jam this week. Right. So now you can come into the jam and get fresh strawberry jam. Finally. With your toast. So when you get toast, we'll say, hey, do you want strawberry jam? And then we're featuring another company's apple butter, and we're going to have strawberry jam all the time, and then we're going to rotate another jam flavor. Just so happens now we're doing apple butter, and then from another that we picked up a long time ago, and we finally got it launched. So, and now we've got that process going over really well. And so now it's like, but we put that in the system. Well, we want to drag that out instead of manually calculating, because under modifiers, we may have 30 modifiers that say strawberry jam. Well, I want AI to consolidate that all together for me and tell me how much strawberry jam.
Okay.
I want to take a huge amount of data
and
for me.
Crunch it.
I want it to do what we used to do in an Access database.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I actually know what that is.
Today, I'm doing my DMAC homework, and I get to make my own chatbot. Stay tuned for that.
Are we going to put it on the Cue the Mic website?
I don't know if it'll be that. I don't know if it'll be good enough for that. But I got to figure out what we want to put on that. Are we going to actually sell merch?
Just have it reply, damn it, Randy, every time you do it.
I could easily do that.
I see what happened to that email I sent to you.
You put a period?
No. I put Gmail as GMAII.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
What a dumbass.
That's why you got to double check that stuff.
I never double check anything because I'm always right the first time.
Clearly not.
Right.
Case in point.
Right. Been known for that. What a
clusterfuck. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go trim bushes and install my. What am I installing?
Starlink.
Because MediaCom sucks.
Be prepared for a lot of work once you get it installed.
What? Yeah. Open the app and say boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to figure out. My biggest thing is going to be how do I get it through the roof and sealed.
Right.
Because I
put
need
some
to go
caulk on it. Get you a tube of caulk.
Silicone caulk.
Does
it come with a boot?
I don't know.
I haven't even opened the package.
It's hard telling what you're going to get, but anytime you got something, a hole drilled through something, put some caulk on it and you'll be fine.
Caulk on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put her on the south side of the building too?
I don't remember.
Every satellite's on the south side of the building, Randy.
Actually, I think you can put it anywhere and Starlink will pick it up. I mean, on that food truck, it doesn't make any difference which direction it's parked. It'll still pick it up.
It'll go.
No, it doesn't move. It's just Elon's got all them satellites running everywhere. It'll pick it up. It's amazing.
Yes. Smart son bitch.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, you guys got anything else?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. All right. Well, then this is it for episode 103. Hope you guys enjoyed this catch-all
Wasn't-
yet again.
Wasn't the best episode. I think 2 episodes back was better.
Yeah, the shit show episode. Hard to top
Yeah.
that one. That one
Hard
was
to
good.
top it.
But anyway, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things. If you are listening to us on wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, follow us on there. I'm doing more of a deep dive on those ends. I finally got ownership of our podcast on Spotify, so I can actually check those analytics and stuff. So we don't have as many followers on that as I would like. So if you're not following us, follow us. We want to see you guys over there.
And if not, we're going to quit doing it.
We'll get mad and take it and go home.
Right.
We won't.
Right.
But we won't. But anyway, yeah. So do all the things. You know the drill. Randy, take it away.
Boom! Out of here, done, finished.
Jeez,
Oh, that was
Louise.
pretty aggressive, Randy. I
Well,
like it.
I wanted to get the point across.
Okay, boom. We're out of here.
All
Adios,
right,
amigos.
we'll see you guys next week.
See.
Adios.